Hello everyone, this is Som Shekhar working as Assistant Professor in Ramchandra College of Engineering in Civil Department. Good morning to everyone. I wish everyone is doing well in this pandemic period by staying home and staying safe. Today I am going to give lecture on Environmental Impact Assessment and Management, which is a civil engineering course in 4-1 semester. So let us discuss what is meant by environmental impact assessment. Environmental impact assessment is a process which ensures all environmental matters are taken into account quite early in the projected planning process itself. That means every country has some government which is going to minimize the environmental effects that is going to be done due to some various industrial activities, various mining activities at par. So in order to get control over these activities which are affecting the environment, certain rules and regulations are implemented by the government of every country, and they passed an act known as Environmental Impact Act for every country in order to control over the environment of their particular country territories. So that is what environmental impact assessment, in which they initially made a draft of guidelines, regulations, environmental factors which are affecting. They made all these drafts and they will pass a act through legislation in order to get control over the environment in their particular territorial premises. That is known as environmental impact assessment and management. So till now we discussed what is meant by environmental impact assessment, and we have to know why it is necessary. Because if you look at over the necessity of this environmental impact assessment, it is intended to prevent or minimize potentially adverse environmental impacts and enhance the environment quality of your project. That means, as I already said, that this environmental impact assessment is mainly to prevent or minimize the adverse environmental impacts and to enhance the environmental quality of a particular project. For suppose, if you want to construct a factory for the production of polymers or any plastic material, then you should propose your production activities, the formulae, and the production work procedure has to be presented to this environmental impact assessment board, such that they will observe your report, and if it is under the prescriptions or guidelines or regulations that are drafted by that board, then they will give acceptance for your production of your company. So that the advantages by these environmental impact assessment is, if you go for a project to get over acceptance, you will easily get the acceptance if the guidelines you are following are under the control of the draft that is made by that environmental impact assessment. Next one is, by obviously, if you want to get acceptance, you will improve the project design, and you have to tell the each and every decision that is taken over the project intermittently or at the beginning while production. So it should be very informative. Next, in view of this act, obviously the project manager will tend to give environmentally sensitive decisions for production. With this, if they give any permission by which they will provide you some stamp authority board such that you can show that to every inspection authorities, so that you can increase the accountability and transparency of your industry, automatically it will reduce the environmental damage also. So this is the advantage of environmental impact assessment. Assessment itself says that if any company is started producing, that company should not affect the environment. So the motive of this environmental impact assessment management board is to do that one only. So if you get permission from them, automatically it says that you are under the control of the environment only. So let us discuss regarding the evolution of environmental impact assessment in worldwide. That means in which country, when they implemented this Environmental Protection Act. Let us see. Country wise, let us discuss regarding Australia. They implemented Environmental Protection Act. How they implemented, they got proposals from the common man, from the advisories board, from the experienced people. After getting all these informations, they will find a draft, or they will make a draft of finalization, and they passed the Environmental Protection Act in 1974 under the scheme of Commonwealth of Australia. Let us discuss regarding Bangladesh. They don't have a particular legislation. Legislation means generally if you want to pass any new amendment or new act, for every country there will be a board of directors or legislation based on the type of government they have. In our country we have democratic government, so that's why we have state legislations, parliament in central. So by passing these act in both the governments or both the legislations based on the majority of the MPs or MLAs they voted, such that will be passed in order to get the existence. But in the case of Bangladesh, directly without any legislation, they declared that environmental impact assessment in 1995. In China, environmental protection law passed in 1979. USA, California Environmental Quality Act of 1971. Next, in Canada, Federal Environmental Assessment and Review Process Guidelines Order 1984. Next, France, Law of Protection Delay Nature 1978. Next, in India, if we discuss regarding our country, the notification dated May 5th, 1994 under the Environmental Protection Act 1986. Okay. Ante in 1986 only we have this act, but the notification has come out in 1994 May 5th. So we have some acts which are already inbuilt, but all the acts are not in existence. Based on the situations or based on the timeline which is already passing, these governments are taking some amendments in certain acts and they are implementing. But it is in labs only. Next, if we discuss regarding Japan, Principles for Implementing EIA by Environmental Agency 1984. Malaysia, Environmental Quality Prescribed Activity EIA Order 1987. New Zealand, Resource Management Act 1991, New Zealand. Philippines, Presidential Decree PD 1151 Philippines, Environmental Policy 1975. PD 1586 establishing the Environmental Impact Statement. 1978 Rules and Regulations to implement the Environmental Impact System 1987. And regarding Sri Lanka, National Environmental Act 1980 amended in 1986. Thailand, Environment and Conservation of National Environmental Quality Act 1975 amended in 1978. Next, Netherlands, EIA Policy 1986. United States, US Environmental Policy Act 1969. Vietnam, Environmental Protection Law 1994. Western Environmental Protection Act 1986, Western Australia. Western Germany, Cabinet Resolution 1975. So this is the resolutions or evolution of Environmental Impact Assessment Act in various countries from past. Let us discuss the evolution of EIA in India from the starting itself. If we discuss, EIA India was started in 1976-77 academic year or financial year, whatever it may be, or planning commission year. So when the planning commission asked the then Department of Science and Technology to examine the river valley projects from the environmental angle, means the then planning commission, 5-year planning commission we have now, that suggested the Department of Science and Technology to examine the river valley projects from the environmental angle, because the natural waters are coming through these rivers only, no? That's why the river border areas where these companies or industrial activities are doing, those areas has to be examined once in order to check the pollution effect of these industries into the river valleys. So that was initially started in view of the environment. Later this was subsequently extended to cover those projects which required approval of Public Investment Board. They created a board in order to cover the projects which are going on the river side. These were administrative decisions and lacked the legislative support. Administrative decisions ante, these decisions were taken by the bureaucrats, but not the MLA or MP or any other people representatives. So directly this board was implemented or created by the bureaucrats like IAS, experienced people who are employed as a secretary or chief secretary of particular organizations and the planning commission organizer. So they implemented without any legislative support this Public Investment Board in order to examine the organizations or industries which are on the riverside. Next, the Government of India enacted the Environment Protection Act on 23rd May 1986. Later, with the legislative support, this Environmental Protection Act was enacted in 23rd May 1986. In order to achieve the objectives of the Act, one of the decisions taken was to make EIA statutory. EIA statutory means in order to make that Act a stable one, that is the main aim. That's why they implemented this Act in the legislature. After following the legal procedure, a notification was issued on 27th Jan 1994 and subsequently amended on 5th May 1994, 10th April 1997 and 27th Jan 2000, making environmental impact assessment statutory for 39 activities. Anti-industrial activity, biodiversity activities. Alaga we have various 39 activities which are affecting the environment has to be examined, controlled in order to not affect the environment in Indian country. That's why they amended this act 4 times. Initially in 5th May 1994, then 10th April 1997, next 27th Jan 2000, by including 39 activities into this act in order to examine those activities. This is the principal piece of legislation governing EIA in India. In addition, the Government of India under Environmental Protection Act 1986 issued a number of notifications which are related to environmental impact assessment. 1986 Environmental Protection Act, by means of which they issued number of notifications regarding the various activities that are going to be done in country. These are limited to specific geographical areas and are summarized below. And prohibiting location of industries except those related to tourism in a belt of 1 kilometer from high tide mark from the Ravdanda Creek up to Devgar Point near Srivardhan, as well as in 1 kilometer belt along the banks of Rajpuri Creek in Murud Janjira area in the Raigad district of Maharashtra, 6th January 1989. I think it is the Malabar coast, that is western coast of our country, which is Arabian Sea coast, where they excluded the area of 1 kilometer from Ravdanda Creek up to Devga Point near Srivardhan, and 1 kilometer built along the banks of Rajpuri Creek in Murud Janjira area in the Raigad district of Maharashtra, where these two areas are used for the tourism, so they excluded these areas. Next, restricting location of industries, mining operations, and regulating other activities in Doon Valley. In 1st February 1989, they restricted certain locations for industries, mining operations in Doon Valley. Next, developing activities in the coastal stretches of country by classifying them as coastal regulation zone and prohibiting certain activities. The coastal areas where these industrial activities are going on, that should be seized by implementing a certain regulation zone or act that is known as coastal regulation zone and prohibiting certain activities. Restricting location of industries and regulating other activities in Dahanu Taluka in Maharashtra. Why initially they have developed a certain regulating zones only in Maharashtra? Why? Because since from the starting in 1990s or 1980s only, the Maharashtra state, which is economically or financially, it is the executive capital for India, where the industrialization has taken place very rapidly at that area. That's why they started certain regulating zones initially in that zones only, in that state only. Next, restricting certain activities in specified areas of Aravalli range. That is also a western zone only. Aravalli means it is a Gujarat tip, bottom tip, where this Aravalli range will be there. This Aravalli range is origin for two rivers, Narmada and Tapati, in Garhwan district of Haryana and Alwar district of Rajasthan. Next, restricting industrial and other activities which could lead to pollution and congestion in the northwestern of Numaligarh in Assam. Northwestern areas where Assam, Meghalaya, there the pollution is also taking place. That's why they restricted industrial and other activities in that area also in 1996. Let us discuss the elements of environmental impact assessment.